Hi there. Welcome to Sunnyside Journals. Welcome to 30 minutes of my day. I have work to do this morning. So I at least made a decision on one book. Yesterday I was sort of humming and hawing over where to put the cute little sleepy owl and what have you. And I actually made some decisions about Lorna Doone here. This nice book. Boy, it's just a lovely size. I'm trying to remember if I know what year this is. Macmillan and Company. Oh, yeah, that's right, 1923. All right. Anyhow, I read up a little bit on the story of Lorna Doone. Scottish Highlanders romance type book. So we've got to take it apart. Oh wait, I should show you my plans for the cover. So I decided that the little holly needs to go on Lorna Doone, but I thought that looked a little hold on, we've got some glare there. I thought that looked a little plain for a little Yuletide journal. So I made a sort of a matte, and I didn't like the red, but I thought a little touch of gold and cover up that red, and then that frames it beautifully. Now hold on, let me move that. There we go. I think that is going to look very nice, and I'm going to put brads to also really, it's not only does it secure it right to the cover, there's no worries about this whole plate popping off. It looks pretty. It really gives it a nice finished look. So that is the plan. But we got to take this apart. So, well, I guess I better set my timer. You know me, I get involved in things. Resume. Oh, wait. 2 minutes. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. All right. So we need to take Miss Lorna Doone apart. So let's see here. Are you deep in there, Lorna Doone? All right. So as ever, I try my best to start at the back with books, and you've got to look for that little gap right there, and hold it apart so that you don't cut through. If you like that spine, you don't want to cut that spine, and it's very easy to cut it. So you've got to hold it apart. There we go. And get your knife down in there and hold that back, the spine part away from the little tip of your knife blade. You don't need the whole blade to go in there to get this done. There we go. Very good. And then this side is easier because you can literally take the whole cover and pull it out of your way and then just go right down. Come on. We've got another nice day up here where I am. It's actually nice and mild outside. I was going to say warm. Not warm. It's sweater weather, but it's nice and mild. Now, I'm not sure about this text block, if I use any of it, because I intend to, this is not going to be devoted to the topic of the book. I don't mind it being evident that this is Lorna Doone. That will still be readable, and you'll be able to see it says Macmillan Pocket Classics, and that will still be visible. I don't mind that. I think that's part of the charm of repurposing a very old book. And these end papers are much too dull. They are going to need something more elegant, but I haven't picked them out yet. So we'll see. There we go. Excellent. That's fine. Now I wonder if that's going to come off okay. These end papers. If I can, I like to give myself a little more space around the edges. I can work with this, but it's nice when you can. I don't know if those are going to come up. Let's see. This will just need a bit of fortifying, but it's not going to need a whole lot of surgery. Especially for a book that's almost 100 years old. It's okay. But it's going to enjoy having a new life and new purpose. So let's see if that'll come up. This part can be very tedious, and I'm just curious right now. So I'm just sort of chipping away at this to see if it's going to pull back a bit. It looks like it will. This is something that I'll do with the camera off, because trust me, it might be more exciting to watch paint dry than to watch me chipping away at the edges of old end papers or the paper that's in this spine, to see if I can get that out of there. It's got to come out, simply because it's not well adhered to this old book cloth. I want to be able to well adhere a new spine to it, and I'm going to have to make it I'm going to make it a nice little curved spine so that it's feeling better. But I'm always curious, so even when the camera's going, I like to see if it's going to try and give me grief or not. And it looks like it's going to give me a little bit of grief, but it's going to have to be one of those things where I patiently work on it on my own. Now, as far as any of these papers, I may use some simply as the backdrop for journaling cards. So that it's still evident what the book was. But, you know, with a journaling card, I'll be able to put little more festive type characters and ephemera on it. But in the background, we'll know in our hearts that Lorna Doone got a nice little tip of the hat before it got converted into something new. Okay, so let's put that there for now. That's not worth saving. So, it's going to need a new, oh, hold on. I gotta go grab my little book. All right. Lorna Doone at 1923. So it's 97 years old. Wowee. All right, let's see what the dimensions are. I know I measured it yesterday, but so let's just do the front cover. The front cover is 4, but once you add the curve that's into it, it does bulk it up. It will bring it out to, I dare say, 4 1/4, perhaps 4 3/8. I'm going to say 4 1/4 just for good measure here. So 4 1/4 by 5 3/4 by, let's see how big I want. So that's, I think I want a 1 1/4 spine with a little bit of a curve. Now, which one? I don't think I want that small one. I think I'm going to use my medium-sized doweling. It's actually a rolling pin, an old rolling pin with the handles removed. This is too small. And I'll tell you why. You might think, oh, but that's a small doweling. If I make it with this, I'm going to give it quite an extreme curve. And I don't want it to have an extreme curve. I want it to have a bit softer curve. So I'm going to make the spine on that one. So what did I say? 1 1/4. All right. I think I'm just going to do two layers of like business folder type file folder. Let me get this out of the way. I will be oh golly, the word search in my brain. I will be doing a light Mod Podge on this. It's so dull and it needs to shimmer a bit. And I'm trying to decide if I want to put a bit of gilding wax on it. I'm not sure yet. I gave myself a new blade for the Christmas season this morning. So I think we can just use one side of this. Put it away for another day. Now, yeah, I have to be careful. Those dents, because it's a file folder, are right there, and I don't want them. And I want it to be as wide as that. Okay. There we go. Oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. There we go. I spared your poor ears my sneeze. All right, now, so we said 1 1/4. Boy, that doesn't seem big. I want it to go from one bend over to the other bend. See where there's the little folds here. That's why I don't necessarily want my spine to be as big as this little paper liner that they put in. I actually want it a bit bigger. So I'm wondering if I want it from there to right there. Not too big, because it's going to have another layer of fabric and paper. Now let's see how big that is. Yeah, see, that's a little bit bigger than 1 1/4. Let's try it. I can always trim it down, right? So then I sort of fit it in there and see if I like it, and I don't. It is too big. Okay, well, better to know ahead of time. Let's do 1 1/4 like we originally planned. I hate that you can't fit your fingers in there and hold it in place. Drives me crazy. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. There we go. Usually I have a little spare piece of this just sticking to the edge of my desk so that I can grab it if I need it. All right, let's see. Yeah, I should have known. So that fits inside there nicely, but I need at least one more, maybe another one, because I want it to be a nice, I just love when you can practically knock on it. Sorry if I'm away at the top here, but I don't want to have to move my camera, so hopefully you can still see what I'm doing anyhow. Now let's see. Let's cut another one just in case I decide it's not thick enough. There we go. Okay. All right, so let's get this ready. I leave one end already tied up. Oh, wait, maybe it's the other end that I'm going to leave. So, pantyhose, doweling, soft elastics, although I think any elastic would do as long as you bury it within the pantyhose. This is my method. Everyone's different, okay? So, I'm not right. You're not wrong. You're not right. I'm not wrong. Everyone just does it differently. And this method works for me. I find that I do have to every once in a while sort of open it up again. Even though your pantyhose can get kind of raggedy after a while, it still does the trick. And I love the stretch that it gives, and the how you can just give a nice, even, firm application to hold your spine onto the doweling while it dries. And basically what you're doing is you're just drying your acetone-based glue into the new shape. There. I don't do this every time, but we got a minute, right? We're not going anywhere. All right, so that's ready to go. Let's glue these. Fabri-Tac 3-in-1. Any acetone-based glue, just so that you don't get any, as minimal warping as possible. Or, you know what I mean, buckling. Water-based glue can make it buckle. Now, I like the dampness. You'll feel it gets cold. I like that because that's what's going to, when it dries, dry in the new shape rather than this flat shape. It's going to dry in the new. I think I am going to do it 3 layers thick. This is sort of a lightweight file folder. That's going to get all mushed around, so don't worry about it having too much glue on it. There we go. All right. So now this is where you sort of have to have a good eyeball, because you want to make sure that you are really parallel with your rolling pin or your doweling or whatever it is you're using. You could use you know, the roll from plastic wrap or wax paper. I just want that right up near the top. There we go. All right. So I eyeball it good. And then I start wrapping it around. Get you out of the way. And you're just going to do like a pantyhose candy cane here. And don't worry that you don't get it all with this first leg, although you will with such a tiny little spine. I won't have any problem. But don't worry about that, because you'll get it with whatever places aren't wrapped. You'll get with the other leg going in the other direction, so that it has equal pressure. There we go. Oh yeah, we're not going to have any problems with this one. Now this could be very well ready later on this afternoon. It's morning right now for me. Quite often if I plan, is that even? That is. If I plan properly, now I'm going to move this up a bit so that I can use pantyhose around that top rather than the elastic, just so I don't get any elastic dents. Quite often I'll try and plan it so I have, am I going, that's going, oh yes, I'm just making sure I'm going in opposite directions. I'll plan it so that I do this 4-book last thing in the evening and just leave my room for the night. All right, you just go there. I just want this out of my way. I'm gonna put my elastic on so my other leg doesn't unravel. There we go. So then you can just pull it nice and snug and just go around and around. There we go. Okay. And then I just tuck it into the elastic down here. I've yet to have one unravel. Once it's in place, it stays in place. All right, so that just goes off to the side, and you have to be patient. And it will be it'll have a nice slight curve like that rather than like that. What next? I guess I want to decide on my plan of action for if I'm going to do some gilding, gold gilding on it. Just not sure yet. Problem is, I really need to decide before I do the sealing of the Mod Podge and then a spray seal of Mod Podge. Then of course I'm thinking maybe I could put some external signature threads on that, because it's so plain. There's not much there. Gosh, I like that. Hold on. Yeah, I think that would be pretty. Now, I have an open one of you. Where are you? There you are. That would be pretty. I want to experiment with something. I want to experiment with some wax on the floss. just to see if it stops it from getting fuzzy too soon. You know what? I need to just trim this. I got lots. I can afford some for an experiment, right? It's fun sewing faux signatures onto the outside of spines. I do enjoy that, and especially having fun putting in maybe some crisscross. Yeah, I like that. That feels a little bit, feels a little less fuzzy. So I think that is what I will do when it comes time. So I'm going to do 5 signatures. Wait, 1 1 1/4 inch spine would usually mean 5 signatures, so I guess that means I have to either go with 6 or 7. I like smaller signatures. It's just me. I find it gives a nicer look when you look down at your at the signatures when they're sewn in, rather than big bulky. Sure, it might seem faster to sew in 3 signatures onto a spine this big, but the aesthetics of just some beautiful, neat, tiny little signatures in there, it's just lovely. I don't know, it's me. So 1 1/4 inch would mean 5 signatures, but as you know, I like uneven signatures. I like to have one right in the very center of the spine. I think I'm going to try and do 7 small signatures. They won't be huge. It'll still end up with the same amount of papers. So if you're thinking, oh, it's not going to be very big, think about it. You're just, say it's going to have 150 pages. Well, you can do 3 signatures with 50 pages, or you can do 5 signatures with 30 pages. Do you see what I mean? You're dividing them up more amongst more signatures. So I'm thinking I'm going to do 7 signatures. So let's get this ready. I could change my mind. I may decide, no, 6 works better for whatever reason. Who knows? All right, so where are we here? 27 minutes. All right, well, there's not a lot more I can do right now anyhow, because I'll tell you why. I need to be able to put the spine in here and finish fortifying the spine before I can either go ahead with the gilding, because it will change the shape of this. Right now it's quite square, and it's going to smooth it out and change the shape. And then, you know me, I'm going to want to use my distress ink and cover up those light patches. I like to make them darker, actually. I think they look really nice when you take them dark. And then, of course, if I'm going to go ahead and do just a light coat of paint on Mod Podge, not the spray, I do want a bit of shine to it. So I'm going to use, I find that the matte Mod Podge, hold on, matte Mod Podge actually isn't matte. It's like a semi-gloss. It's not matte. You still get a shine with it. You get quite a shine, but you don't get a glossy shine. But I like as I said, although this book is old, I want it to have a little bit of seasonal sparkle. You know what I mean? Got to have a little seasonal sparkle. All right, so that's the plan, Stan. That will go there. Brad's there. Probably it's a fat little book, so I think I will put some permanent ribbons on the end. So I'm going to end this here, because I'm going to start hunting for what I want for end papers for this little baby. Let me tilt that so you don't get that glare. I'm sorry about that glare. So that's sort of going to be what Lorna Doone is doing. Alrighty. Well, listen, thank you for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. Staying safe and healthy, and keeping your anxiety levels as low as possible. They are anxious times for many reasons right now. So take care, stay safe, stay calm, do whatever it takes to keep yourself feeling mellow. We'll talk soon. Bye.